Hey y'all. So if you clicked on this video, I'm gonna assume one of two things. Either you are trying to find ways to lose weight, or you want to know how I lost weight. And I promise you that this channel is going to talk about both of those things. But before we get there, there are just some important things we gotta get out in the open, and some things that we really have to be real with ourselves about. Alright, so all the time, if you do not know me personally or have not followed my story, I, in the last, I'll say year, have lost 90 pounds. My highest weight on record was about 256. I'm sure I was at some point in the 260s, and my weight was continuing to climb, and I am now, as of today, like 165, and yeah. So with that, obviously people who know me, people who follow me on Instagram, people who have followed my journey ask me all the time, you know, how did you do it? How did you lose the weight? What's your secret? You know, what's the tips and tricks? Give me your routines, etc. And more often I've been finding myself wanting to ask a question back. And the question that I've had in my heart to ask back is, are you ready? I think in life we have to be more real with ourselves about being ready for what we want. Some of us think that things are just going to fall out of the sky, or there's going to be this magic mixture, or someone's going to come and wave a magic wand or sprinkle some fairy dust on us and we're just going to have what we want. But the thing about the universe is that it's not going to give you what you want until you're ready for it. And I say that to say weight loss and a lifestyle change is more than just I ate grilled chicken for 7 weeks, or I juiced for 2 weeks or a month and I didn't eat anything else, or I did a liquid diet, or I did the Keisha QRT. It is way more than that, because those are things that are not sustainable. Alright? You cannot tell me, or maybe you can, show me, bring them to this channel, a person who has literally juiced for 12 months out of the year and eaten no food, and they're like best shape, best energy at the gym all the time. Those things are not able to be maintained. Sometimes I feel like people come to me with ideas and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna do keto, or I'm gonna do the cabbage soup diet, or I'm gonna, you know, I'm just going to, in some way, shape, and form, starve myself. And that's either going to kickstart my journey, or that's going to let me lose the 10 pounds and I'm going to feel really great, and then I'm going to keep going. And the thing about those diets and fads, like I just mentioned, is that they're unsustainable. We really have to be more real with ourselves and finding sustainable ways to lose weight, to build muscle, to eat different, etc. You have to find the things that work for you. And in saying that, I wanted to just come on here and make this video really just to talk about mindset change. And I don't want to be the person who's going to come on here and preach to you about discipline and commitment and, you know, being real with yourself and accountability. Like, I don't want to come on here and just throw buzzwords at you, because I'm sure you've clicked on other weight loss videos and you've heard those words and you've heard those things time and time again, but you don't really know what that looks like. And that's more so the problem. So if you see me glancing at my notes, I just took some notes on things that I've really been contemplating as people, like I said, have asked me more and more about my journey and what I've done. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is that there are no tricks, there are no secrets, there are no diets, there are no gimmicks. It's going to come from sacrifice, discipline, and accountability. And the thing about those core words, we'll call them, is that it's great to have an accountability partner. It's great to be committed with someone. It's great to, you know, you and your partner are sacrificing. Maybe you're not going on date night at Cheesecake Factory and instead you're cooking, you know, a salmon at home. Those are all great things. But at the end of the day, you have to be that for yourself. And I say that because an accountability partner is all fine and dandy, but they're not in your body 24/7. They're not following you around 24/7. So I could have an accountability partner and we go to the gym every day, but I could still come home and eat McDonald's. You have to get to a point where you're going to hold yourself accountable, you're going to hold yourself committed, and you are going to make the sacrifices to make this happen. You have to get to a place in your mind where you want it bad enough that you're ready to say, I'm going to do what it takes to get this done. And you have to stick to it. When you're not seeing the results, when you gain a pound and you've been doing everything in your power to lose a pound, when you're tired and you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to walk that mile, okay? You are going to have to be that motivation for yourself. And like I said, those are all mindset changes. Those are all things that come with in your own mind and you have to put into play. Another thing is, when we're talking about commitment, you have to give to gain. Okay? I'll say that again. You have to give in order to gain. So one thing that I can remember in my whole weight loss journey that really sticks out to me now that I'm like, on the other hand, I'm not yet in maintenance. I'm still trying to lose a little bit more. But now that I'm kind of on the other end of like seeing so much progress and results, one of the first things I did is I came home and I literally took everything out of my cupboards, everything out of my fridge that did not match the lifestyle change I was going to make. So in terms of my lifestyle change, the most prominent changes that I've made is I eat a high protein diet. I am sugar free. So anything I use is going to say sugar free. I don't have sugar in my cupboards. I don't have regular, just like things to make things. Like I don't have brown sugar, I don't have syrup. Everything is sugar free in this household. I won't say that, a lot of people ask me if I'm keto. I'm not keto. I eat carbs, but I will call myself carb conscious. So in being carb conscious, I like to prioritize snacks and things that are not going to have an excess of carbs in them per serving. So basically what I did is I came home and like all the pasta was literally my kryptonite. I got rid of it. And when I say rid of it, I don't mean I just went and threw it out, but I like gave it away. Maybe to people who it fit better in their diet, right? So I literally got rid of pasta. I got rid of popsicles that had sugar in them. I got rid of sugar. I got rid of chips. I got rid of candy. I just came home one day and I just said, I'm done. I'm done. And the biggest thing you'll find is if you don't have these things at home, you can't eat them. So get rid of them. Like, I'm sorry, but again, when we talk about getting yourself to a place where this is really what you want and what you want to do, you're gonna have to go for broke. You're gonna literally have to do some drastic things to see drastic changes. So that was one thing that I would say really jump-started my commitment. I got rid of the things that were no longer going to be a part of the lifestyle that I was aspiring to have, okay? So that was number one. Second thing, your mindset is everything. I believe that you can manifest whatever you want. I've done it in multiple facets of my life, but manifestation comes from mindset. You literally have to tell yourself that you can. And even I don't care, like I've had I have had various plateaus. I have had various unsuccessful weight loss attempts before this point. Like there was like 2 years where I was trying to lose weight and it was just like up and down, up and down, up and down, right? But I got to a point where I told myself, you can do it. You haven't yet cracked the code, right? You haven't yet maybe made the specific lifestyle changes. Maybe you don't understand nutrition. Maybe you just didn't know, that some of the things you were eating, the macros were not helping you. Maybe you didn't know how to exercise. Maybe you didn't know that you should put the cardio to the side and pick up the weights, right? So I gave myself the benefit of the doubt. I told myself the past is the past, and that from this day forward, I was going to do my best to figure out what I could do to lose weight. So your mindset is everything. I was able to manifest and tell myself, you're gonna lose the weight, but you also have to give yourself some grace along the way. The next thing is you have to know your triggers. You gotta know your triggers. Are you eating when you're sad? Are you eating when you're bored? Are you eating when you're angry, right? Are you eating just cause, right? What are your kryptonites? What are the foods when you want to feel that comfort? What are the foods you're gravitating towards? okay? Because I could tell you right now, mac and cheese was my favorite food, and I abused that dish. Like, I was eating that when it wasn't Thanksgiving, when it was Thanksgiving. Like, I was eating mac and cheese all the time. Some people it's rice, some people it's pasta. Love pasta, right? But like, now that I understand nutrition better, and just speaking with my nutritionist, she told me like, carbs are better when you eat them with a protein. Like, carbs and protein, they should literally be like this. Like, you really shouldn't try to snack too much on just carbs alone. So like, some people will see meal prep videos and say, well, she's eating a rice bowl with chicken and corn and blah blah. So like, I eat rice, but like, why am I not losing weight? You gotta pair your carbs with a protein source. So you just don't want to get to a point where you're just like aimlessly eating carbs and that's like the bulk of your diet. And sometimes I look at what people are eating, and because my mindset has shifted so much, I recognize, like, I look at their plate and I'm like, that literally has no benefits. Like, you're literally just eating 100 grams of carbs right now. So you definitely want to understand how these things work, but also know your triggers. If you know that if you have a bite of pasta or pizza, it's really going to be hard for you to bounce back, put it on pause until you see a little more progress. For me, I loved having an alcoholic beverage. And then I went from this year, I had a drink on New Year's. I did not drink again until the end of June. So that was like 6 months, no alcohol. And I know for some people it's like, huh? But again, like, I knew what I wanted. I knew what my triggers were. I knew what my kryptonite was. And I told myself, all right, none of that. Like, you're gonna go 6 months and you're just gonna find alternatives. I found great pasta alternatives. I found just great things to drink. I know how to make like protein drinks. I totally think differently about food now because I know what got me to 260-ish, and I also know what got me to 165, and I know like what benefits me from eating, because I don't want to say should be eating, because I think a lot of people think of diets as like this super restrictive thing, like you're on a diet so you can't have X, Y, and Z, and it shouldn't be. It should be about finding beneficial substitutes to the things you like. Do not limit yourself. That is actually my next point. So we do diets around here with no limits. People ask me all the time, oh, but like, I'm just not gonna eat pasta anymore. I'm not gonna eat fruits anymore. I'm not gonna eat bread anymore. And I go, okay, why? And they go, because it makes you gain weight. Okay, but there are bread substitutes, there are pasta substitutes, there are ways to make a low carb pizza, there are ways to eat tacos that are low carb, high protein. Like, please, again, these diets and these fads, they're a trap. If you limit yourself, you are just setting yourself up to be unsuccessful. Because what's going to happen, and what's happened to me multiple times in my failed weight loss attempts, was that I would do something so restrictive that when I got a taste of pasta or a piece of pizza, that was it. I was ready to run off with it. And then I went back into my habits. Because when you limit yourself, all you're doing is creating these cravings in your mind. Oh my gosh, if I do X, Y, and Z and I work out and I cut out this, I can go eat a whole pizza. Why can't you just try to find a way to make a low carb pizza and enjoy pizza every day? Like, there is nothing that I love to eat that I haven't eaten on this journey. But what I have done is, yeah, I don't buy regular pasta. I buy the protein pasta, or I have this lovely tofu pasta alternative that I eat all the time. And you would be shocked how many of these things that we're eating that like, or we're buying at the grocery store, that right next to it is like a better alternative, but we don't take the time to turn the nutrition label and see what's actually in our food. And you'd also be shocked that some of these things you can barely taste the difference, and some of these things we like the seasoning more on it than we actually like the thing, if that makes sense. So just being mindful and just not limiting yourself. If you make your box this small, you're gonna want to break out of it. You're gonna want to, I want to eat pizza, I want to eat pasta, I want to do this and that, right? So we're not doing limits. I say on my Instagram all the time, and people message me with pictures and examples, I am never gonna say no to dessert. I'm a dessert girl. I love dessert. We're never saying no to dessert. Am I going to eat a piece of cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory that's 1,000 calories? No, but I'm gonna make my own protein cheesecake that's going to be comparable and taste good, and I'll be satisfied, so that I don't have this laundry list of cravings that I'm just ready to have one of and then I want to have all of them, right? So we're doing things in a way that we're not limiting ourselves. We are at least setting ourselves up to find more affordable, in terms of like health affordable. I don't just mean like money affordable, but better alternatives, okay? Better alternatives is literally the goal, and one thing that I've noticed on my journey. So, last two things. You gotta pay attention. So, something that I've done on this journey is I've taken notes. I've taken notes every week of what my weight was. Now I don't really weigh myself every week. I weigh myself like every 2 weeks, maybe like the end of the month sometimes. But I've taken notes, so I know every weight I've been since December of 2021. Okay, so take notes. Pay attention to what's working for you. Pay attention to the things you like. Pay attention to the recipes that you enjoyed. Pay attention to the things that you've swapped out in your pantry. Pay attention, because those are going to be the things that you can embed in this new lifestyle that you want to create. Again, stop thinking with this diet mindset. Think of lifestyle change. Okay? People ask me all the time, oh, like, are you keto? Are you this? Are you that? And the answer is no, I'm not anything. I am just living a healthier life than I was before, because I know what my life before made me feel like, and I never want to feel like that again. Okay? It's not just about eating. It's not just about weight. It's not just about muscle. It's not about all those things. It is truly about living your best life. At 27, almost 28, I feel like I am, in these past 6 months, living a better life than I have for years. And that really says a lot about the lifestyle changes I've made along the way. And I want to inspire and empower people and give people the tools to do the same thing, because it's important. Don't just think of it as like, I'm going to diet until I lose 30 pounds. Okay, but don't you want to keep those 30 pounds off? What if you want to lose 40 pounds after that 30 pounds? What if you want to build muscle after that 30-pound weight loss? How are you going to do so if you're just following a trend until you get somewhere, but you really don't care about sustaining that change? You got to sustain the change. And the last thing I want to talk about is giving yourself grace. Okay? Weight loss, lifestyle changes, dramatic changes in life take time. All right? This is not going to be an overnight process. The thing for me in my failed weight loss attempts is I would always beat myself up about not being able to, or not losing the weight quickly, or not seeing the change on the scale, right? And then I just wanted to give up. It didn't take you 2 weeks to gain X amount of weight. So why do you think it's going to take you a week to lose 10 pounds? And even if you do lose 10 pounds in a week, can you sustain that? Can you lose more after that? So you want to give yourself grace. Forgive yourself for all the failed attempts in the past. Research, learn, make changes that are going to help you see change in your future. All right, you got to give yourself grace. This is going to take time, commitment, effort, all these things. It's not going to happen overnight, and you got to just relax. All right, you got to relax, and you also can't compare yourself to other people. You can't. That'll literally kill you, because 165 could look different on me than it does on someone else, but also it could have taken someone else 2 years to lose what I've lost in 6 months, because our journeys were different, because there's something I did that they didn't do, etc. So you really have to give yourself grace. Your journey is your own, and it's gonna take time, and that is okay. That is perfectly fine. You will get there, but you have to stay consistent. You have to keep trying. So that is honestly just my little spiel about, so you want to lose weight. I think a great place to start is in your mind. And I'm a writer, I'm a teacher, by profession, so like I like to write, an English teacher at that, so I like to write things out, I like to plan things out. I would highly recommend either writing out manifestations and or plans, or at least plans. You want to lose weight, but what are you going to do? What steps are going to take? And just rewatch this video and list the things that I've talked about. What are you gonna go broke on? Like, what are you gonna go for broke? Like, are you going to, you know, clean out your cupboard? Are you gonna take a drastic approach? Are you gonna go grocery shopping? Are you gonna look on Pinterest and see, you know, what are some healthy meal prep ideas? Like, what are you going to do first to make this happen? You know, what are your triggers? Where do you want to see yourself? What are realistic goals? Because some people think it's realistic to lose, you know, 10 to 12 pounds a month, and that's actually not super realistic. Sometimes you're gonna lose 4 to 5 pounds a month, and that's great. That's actually high weight loss. So you really have to be more realistic with yourself and start to write down what you want to see, how you're going to see it, and what you believe in. What are your manifestations to make that happen? I highly recommend writing things down, tracking things. If you want to have an accountability partner, that's beautiful, but remember, the most important accountability partner is yourself. I hope that this video gave you a different perspective or some things to talk about and think about. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free in the comments to ask me questions. There's going to be a ton more videos on weight loss, but I thought it would really be beneficial to start here because mindset is everything. What you say to yourself in here is what translates into this life in the physical form. So have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Effort. All these things, it's not going to happen overnight, and you gotta just relax. All right, you gotta relax, because, and you also can't compare yourself to other people. You can't. That'll literally kill you, because 165 could look different on me than it does on someone else, but also it could have taken someone else, you know, 2 years to lose what I've lost in 6 months, because our journeys were different, because there's something I did that they didn't do, etc. So you really have to give yourself grace. Your journey is your own, and it's gonna take time, and that is okay. That is perfectly fine. You will get there, but you have to stay consistent. You have to keep trying. So that is honestly just my little spiel about, so you want to lose weight. I think a great place to start is in your mind. And I'm a writer, I'm a teacher by profession, so like I like to write, an English teacher at that, so I like to write things out, I like to plan things out. I would highly recommend either writing out manifestations and or plans, or at least plans. You want to lose weight, but what are you going to do? What steps are going to take? And just rewatch this video and list the things that I've talked about. What are you gonna go broke on? Like, what are you gonna go for broke? Like, are you going to, you know, clean out your cupboard? Are you gonna take a drastic approach? Are you gonna go grocery shopping? Are you gonna look on Pinterest and see, you know, what are some healthy meal prep ideas? Like, what are you going to do first to make this happen? You know, what are your triggers? Where do you want to see yourself? What are realistic goals? Because some people think it's realistic to lose, you know, 10 to 12 pounds a month, and that's actually not super realistic. Sometimes you're gonna lose 4 to 5 pounds a month, and that's great. That's actually high weight loss. So you really have to be more realistic with yourself and start to write down what you want to see, how you're going to see it, and what you believe in. What are your manifestations to make that happen? I highly recommend writing things down, tracking things. If you want to have an accountability partner, that's beautiful, but remember, the most important accountability partner is yourself. I hope that this video gave you a different perspective or some things to talk about and think about. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free in the comments to ask me questions. There's going to be a ton more videos on weight loss, but I thought it would really be beneficial to start here because mindset is everything. What you say to yourself in here is what translates into this life in the physical form. So have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.